Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the Noise of the North, Dano the Mano, and I'm here in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, with another Golden Mike podcast, SeaDek exclusive video. And I am standing here with a gentleman, might I say a famous gentleman. He has been one of the longtime personalities of action sports, the one and only Pat Parnell. Pat, what's happening, man?
Well, thank you for the gentleman part, first and foremost. That's way too kind.
Well,
yeah.
Pat, I saw you here on site this week, and I know each and every year you come to these events with us, at least a handful of them. But if anybody watches any of the WWA Wakeboard World Series events on NBC Sports, you're pretty much the voice behind those events, and you've been doing action sports for a long, long time. Talk a little bit, if you wouldn't mind, about how you kind of got involved with the song.
Sure. I mean, first, it's such a huge honor to be involved with the events. Sean Osborne and on the production side of things, was kind enough to bring me in. And yeah, I have been around a long time, which is actually, I feel like a T-Rex without the small arms. No, I've been around for a long time, like going back to Advanced Triple Crown of wakeboarding and even pre-gravity games with all aspects of sports, whether it be surfing, skating, snowboarding, BMX, freestyle moto. And so it's great to still be allowed to be invited to some of these events and then work on the post-production. I think the guys do a stand-up job, from Justin to Sean Aaron to Sean Osborne, the entire crew. I mean, they work their tails off with a very, very limited budget.
Well, you just mentioned a bunch of events that you've kind of been to over the years, and obviously wakeboarding and all across the spectrum of action sports there. But in wakeboarding, you've been here for such a long time, and I want to find out in your thoughts, like, what are some of the changes that you've seen in the sports over the years?
Well, okay, let's keep it wake specific, because I know that a good chunk of your audience, I know you go well beyond that. But I mean, I go back. We're talking pre Darren Shapiro, like early snurfer days, or a scurfer, I should say. Snurfer, I don't want to confuse snow and wake. I know it's a big deal, but I mean, I just it's literally like the setups, not just the tricks. I mean, the progression speaks for itself, but just the quality of material and everything from the binding setups to the board setups to like jibbing, things that you never would have imagined that they could take and make possible on the water. They're doing it, and every year we're amazed. I mean, that's just a fact. So, what's also cool to see is that, I think wakeboarding initially, it got some resistance, and I think people now see the potential and the possibilities. I think people are taking more of a Renaissance approach to being a little bit less myopic, which I definitely encourage.
So you've been all over the spectrum, I keep mentioning it, of action sports, but you also have a little bit of a background in water sports. What exactly is it?
Well, yeah, that I flail a lot. I'm a fan, first and foremost. I literally love all these sports and love all the people behind it. I especially think wake's got a really a cool vibe where the people are really real. We'll talk like salt of the earth. You don't get that in a lot of the sports. I think a lot of the sports are pay to play. You could say a lot of the guys that say in wakeboarding, you're like, oh, they come from money, this and that. And like, it's not the case. You start to meet a lot of these people. They're just salt of the earth people, and there's a family vibe that I really don't experience covering a lot of other events. So I don't take it for granted, to say the least.
All right, man. So have you had the opportunity to get on the water at all in the recent months?
Well, right now, no, and I'm really angry. I know you brought up Radar Lake, and like I said, Sean can only bring me out. Budget, it's all about budgets, but I was able to get to that one event in the Pacific Northwest, and we got out on Radar Lake there, and that was, for me, that was like a little mini bucket list check off. And I haven't gotten the water once this trip. I'm in on Friday, out on Monday, so I got to talk to Sean Dishman. We got to get something in our rider list.
Yeah, right.
Sean, I hope you're watching this.
Yeah, I'm sure he is, right? All right, man. So you were the voice basically behind Fuel TV for so many years. What have you been up to?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. Fuel TV is actually CJ Oliveras, my old boss there. They're kind of re-upping it, and he came in and regained the rights of Fuel TV and the entire library. So there's a lot of things moving. There's fans of Fuel out there know that Fuel it's still on a linear channel in Portugal and globally, like throughout Asia and Australia, but it's coming back, which is a good thing. Outside of that, just doing, I work for Outside Television and do the Outlook series and a lot of their dispatch work and stuff for Red Bull. I do all the Crankwork series, slopestyle events, and right after this, tomorrow morning head out to Virgin, Utah for Red Bull Rampage, which I have to say, unapologetic, my favorite event of all the events. It's something you got to see in person to watch these guys do their build outs and do 70, 80-foot canyon jumps on bikes. It's pretty nuts. I don't care what sport you come from. You have to respect.
Well, it sounds like some pretty amazing stuff, man. All right, so this weekend we are here in Punta Cana for the Malibu WWA Punta Cana Pro, and I know that you are a fan of wakeboarding, and I know that you've been behind the scenes kind of watching some of the action. Any highlights from the event this weekend?
It didn't. You know what? Seeing Grubb get his 187th jump with Travis Pastrana on his B-Day down into the wake park. And you know what? It's really cool to see all the hard work pay off to get a wake park in downtown Punta Cana. So I think that speaks volumes about the strength and the growth of the sport internationally. So I'd say the park, seeing the cross-section from biker gangs, everyone coming out to see Pastrana, but then also to see the cable setup, and I think SeaDek and everyone involved. I think Hayes and all the people that put all the hard work in to make it happen. So seeing that was great, and then hanging out with everyone in such a closed environment, like having a pool set up where you can drink beers and watch, both passes, and you don't even have to move. You literally just raise your hand for a fresh Presidente Cerveza. It's bueno, trust me.
It is bueno. It's a beautiful thing. Pat, I want to thank you so much, man. Guys, I'm the Noise of the North, Dano the Mano. This is the legend, Pat Parnell himself, and this has been another Golden Mike Podcast, SeaDek exclusive.